Hi there, welcome back to this lesson on the future tense. So the future tense has two translation possibilities. Let's say you wanted to say, let's say you wanted the future tense of power to stop. You could say, I will stop, or I shall stop. So you have two auxiliary verbs available to you. That's quite a specialized word, auxiliary. So this is the auxiliary verb. So now we're going to talk about formation. Okay. Formation of the future tense is really quite simple. It's just the present tense stem plus a sigma. That's it. So again, let's use the example of power. If you wanted to say, I will stop, that's just going to be the present tense stem, pow, plus the sigma, paus. And then, actually I forgot to mention here, and then you have the present tense endings. Okay. So it's going to be pauso. And the other endings are obviously going to be a's, a, omen, eta, usi. So we've already discussed all of those endings. You should be very familiar with them by now. So I'm just going to go through them all. Pauso, I will stop. Pauses, you will stop. Pause, he will stop, or she will stop, or it will stop. Pausomen, we will stop. Pausete, you plural will stop. And paususi, they will stop. Obviously, for all of these could also be they shall stop. But I just used the example of will. Okay, now we're going to talk about spelling changes. So these really are essential. Spelling changes happen when the Greek stem for the future has to incorporate the sigma. And these happen when the present tense stem, ends in a consonant. And there are two types. So you have guttural stems, that end in gamma, kappa, chi, or double sigma. So, e.g., fulasso, or dioko, for instance. And when the sigma is added to these, it will form a xi. So it will form a xi. So let's say you wanted to say, I shall chase or pursue. That is equal to diokso. Not, by the way, diokso. So not diok and then so. So instead of having the k, the kappa, and then the sigma, it just forms a xi. So just one letter instead of this awkward sort of consonant clash. The second example are labial stems. Okay? So these end in pi, beta, it's bad beta, or phi. And instead of a xi, like the guttural stems form, these will form a psi. Okay? These will form a psi. So let's say you wanted to say, I shall pursue. Sorry, not I shall pursue. I shall send. I shall send. That is equal to pemp. So with the psi instead of the pi plus the sigma. So as you can see, the sigma is incorporated into the psi, and it's incorporated into the psi. So that will be I will send. And then one last note in the top right, I'll make this. Sometimes the consonant drops out altogether. So let's say let's take the example of peitho. Peitho is obviously I persuade. I will persuade is not peitho. That sounds awful. Instead, Greek says pay so, just with the sigma. So you can see that the theta has just completely dropped out. So theta dropped out. And that is also something to bear in mind. But when you learn the principal parts of all these verbs, it will give you the future. So it's just the future stem is something you just simply have to learn. But for the most part, it's regular. The spelling changes are fairly predictable, and there are only a handful of cases when the consonant drops out altogether. So ultimately, it's nothing to worry about. Okay, guys, that's all for today. Thank you very much. And be sure to test your skills in the test section.